Joyce Kashugi Waweru. I'm the Chief Executive Officer at the Packaging Producer Responsibility Organization, PAKPRO. As CEO, I'm responsible for strategy, innovation, and getting the vision of PAKPRO up and going. 2024 for us, looking back, was a year of firsts. In 2023, you have to remember that we moved from being PETCO, a one-stream PRO, to being a multi-stream PRO in 2023. And so for us moving into 2024, we had a lot of excitement about the enactment of mandatory extended producer responsibility by way of gazetting of the regulations. And so for us, it was a year of firsts. It meant operationalizing EPR in the country. It also meant trying to build an ecosystem around how we recover material for our members. But more importantly, it was a growth year for us, which meant there were a lot of systems and structures that we needed to deploy to be able to be in tandem with the growth that we were going to realize by way of increased membership, increased demand in terms of collection and recycling. I think for us as an organization and as a business, especially from the policy standpoint, it took very long before the 2024 EPR regulations were gazetted. And so what that meant was that there was a delay. A lot of companies in industry, producers that is, took on a wait-and-see approach. They felt that we needed to have the regulations gazetted before they could fully commit to implementing mandatory EPR. What that meant was that it slowed down the rate at which you could be able to effectively deploy solutions that would be able to recover their products from the environment. Remember, we are coming into mandatory EPR when at the heart of waste management, we have inadequate collection infrastructure. We have inadequate collection receptacles by way of bins. Our own county governments were not fully ready to implement effective waste management systems, which include segregation at source. And so by way of the infrastructure that's in place, it's lacking. And so as EPR is an instrument that is additive to an effective waste management system, it doesn't come to correct or deploy the system in and of itself. And so the challenge that we have as a PRO and anyone else in this ecosystem is that we are working from zero and trying to build something that is outside of our controls. 2024 was definitely a growth year for us. We were able to realize a 90% increase in our membership. These are our sign-ups, which we can attribute to the anticipation of mandatory EPR going live. So we also had a 300% increase in our revenues from 2023 to 2024. And of course, this is attributed to an increase in the number of members that we were able to onboard and who are able to actually make remittances of the extended producer responsibility fees as well as their membership fees. Extended producer responsibility was supposed to kick off in May 2025. Unfortunately, because of some contentious clauses that industry felt were punitive, there has been litigation around the regulations, putting a pause to its implementation. However, as PAKPRO, as the leaders that we have been, pioneers in this industry, we have been able to take a leading role in engaging with government, the regulator, as well as the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry, to be able to see what challenges and how we can unlock those challenges so that then we can be able to deploy EPR in this country. I think from where we sit, representative of our membership, there's an eagerness to implement mandatory EPR. And that's why as PAKPRO, we've taken a leading role to unlock these challenges so that we can then be able to harness the full benefit of the regulations to the benefit of the entire sector. From our experience in 2024 and the delay that we've had in implementing mandatory EPR, we've realized that as a business we must pivot And pivoting means that we move from the mindset of purely compliance to a well-rounded circularity driving business. What that means is that we're looking to focus on 4 critical areas. The first, of course, being the hardware, which is how do we create a traceability network for the waste that members are actually generating. This creates value for the members, but also meets their compliance obligations. And that means being able to partner with material recovery facilities, aggregators, buyback centers, so that we're able to capture their data by way of a data platform or any such like technological advancement to be able to offer this data that is verifiable to themselves as well as to our regulator. Secondly, of course, is around what is the return on investment. I think it can be agreed that EPR is a sunk cost. A sunk cost in the sense that we are not able as members, for members, they're not able to see what the return on investment is. And so when we talk about pivoting is how are we able to now create value for them beyond just what they are able to realize by way of compliance, but toward driving circularity. And one of the ways we look to do this is to promote the use and the adoption of recycled content in their products. What that means is you're going to see PAKPRO, and the vision for PAKPRO is to be able to drive our members to adopt more recycled content into their packaging. What that does is that it levelizes the costs that they are currently sinking in, primarily through their EPR fees, such that for companies that are able to adopt 30%, 50%, 100%, then they in tandem get the same reduction in terms of their EPR fees. And that then is a return on investment on their bottom line. Thirdly, of course, is the ecosystem. As PAKPRO, we are firm believers in the ecosystem. How do we build an ecosystem that's fit for purpose for our country, for our market, but more importantly, to be able to realize the value creation that we seek to achieve for our members as well as the waste pickers who are doing all the heavy lifting when it comes to recovery of these materials. And so you find us getting into partnerships, strategic partnerships with organizations that are attuned to the waste value chain, but more importantly, you also find us participating in projects and programs that are looking to improve the quality of lives of our people, as well as improve the quality of material that's coming back into the system. And then, of course, lastly, which is very critical, and in a lot of emerging markets like Kenya, you will hear it said that the waste picker doesn't get true value for what they are collecting. We know that this is a concern for our members, and how we look to try and mitigate this is to be able to bring collection as close as possible to the waste picker. What that means is that through our Biznataka program, which is a revolutionary concept that we were able to come up with in 2024, is that we look to bring the marketplace closer to the waste picker. Waste pickers do not have to wait for middlemen to come and recover or buy their produce from them, but instead they are able to come and directly trade within these centers that we would have accredited through our own due diligence criteria, that we are then able to have strategic partnerships with other institutions, be it money lending institutions, be it banks, so that then we are able to raise the amount of money that is getting into the pocket of our waste pickers. So the vision for us for 2026 and beyond is to move from compliance to circularity.